Okay folks, I just want to give you a little bit of a shot of kind of how we live here. So what I have here is a 12 volt battery. This is one that I run my electric fence with. I have our 400 watt inverter out of the car. You can see that battery's maintaining about 12.6 volts. I charge my laptops, my phones with it, and it does really good. And let me take you outside and I'll show you the way that we charge the battery. Okay, so here we have a 18 volt 17 watt or 15 watt, I'd have to look at the back of it, I can't remember, but it's an 18 volt panel. I picked this up at a yard sale. Actually, a cousin of Polly's had it. He had like, I think 4 of them. Wind blew them over, broke the others, so I bought this one off of him. Didn't cost that much, but you can pick these up fairly inexpensively. I just hook the cables. I have a cable connection. You can pick these up at Harbor Freight. This is charging, so I'd be careful not to touch the two ends. Just plugs up to it, and that takes and charges up our battery. Just a little glimpse there of how we take and charge up our laptops, stuff like. We don't want to run a generator, and we don't have our big solar system set up yet. This is just an easy way, and it's very simple to do. Aspect, we have 4 of these jerry cans. We actually have 5. One of them sprung a leak. I need to patch it if I can, but we carry water in these. Water is about 1 cent a gallon. It takes about 6 cents to fill those up. The 4 jerry cans will last us about a half a week. We generally have to go get ice or go to town to get something, and we refill them. So this is what we carry our just washing water, you know, all of our gray water type uses in these jerry cans. Bucket here is for our hand washing station. This is considered gray water in the state of Arizona. It is legal to just dump it, irrigate with it, dump it out on the ground. We irrigate with it. We also add it to our mulch pile, and you don't want any kind of you know, household food scraps in there or anything like that. All of those we take and we carry off separately, but for our, they call it black water, so we carry that off separately and dump that in an appropriate place. But here we have our gray water disposal. We just dump that in there. We wash our hands, wash our face, dump the water in there, and then we take it and we dump it on our compost pile or dump it on a tree or a plant that we're trying to take and improve. And it works really well. Here's our propane. We use propane here to cook with. Right now in the summertime, we're not heating our water, so we really don't have to worry about that. I'll show you our shower. Many of you may have seen it already, but this is propane. So far, we filled this canister up when we got here about, it's been over a month ago. It's still burning strong. It still has some in it, and we also have some backup propane as well. Here's our backup propane. Both of those are full. You may have seen that on our vlog. We also have a propane grill. We have several grills around here where we can cook out on just wood, and that's another cooking option for us. But the propane cook stove, propane furnace in there, if it was to get down cold, we could have heat in the camper. So let's move on to the Redneck Outdoor Shower. I built this fairly quick. It didn't really take me all that long. My wife has done some upgrades. She's put a shower curtain wire. She's put a bigger tarp on there just to take and hide yourself a little better. And there we have a jerry can that I have affixed a shower nozzle and a valve to. That heats the water up. Solar heats the water up fairly quick during the day. If you get to it pretty soon after the sun goes down, you can take a warm shower. So that's how we take our showers right now. Picked up this little 600 watt Nissan generator at a yard sale for 60 bucks. The guy originally wanted 100. I asked him what his bottom dollar was. He said 80. I offered him 60 and he took it. And thus far, it's an older generator. It probably doesn't work at optimum levels, but when we're building and using our big generator, this one here will run our camper. You can see our power cord going across to our camper. It works very well for lights, a fan. Polly uses it. She'll plug up a fan, but it will not run the air conditioner. You need something closer to 2,000 or 3,000 watts to fire that up, and our big generator's peak is like 13,000 watts. This one's 600 watts, so not too bad for 60 bucks. I mean, you can pick these up for around 100, less than 200 anyway. Just depends on whether they're having a sale or not. You can pick them up at Harbor Freight for around $129. But an awesome little way, and it's super quiet. It really doesn't make a lot of noise, even though it's an older generator. So there's one more aspect of our off-grid life. When we're down here, we just fire this up. We've got lights, we've got fans. I can plug up my laptop again there as well if it's running, to save on the battery usage. But that's just one more way that we take and live here. Here's our cab over camper. This is where we have been staying. It's not huge. It has a table that we can eat at. It has a bed that we can sleep in. The refrigerator does not work. I think it needs Freon, but we put ice in there in a tray, and it keeps stuff fairly cool. I mean, lunch meat, butter, that sort of thing. We can put ice in there, and it'll last about 3 days in 100-degree heat. So it's an effective cooler. So this is our little abode. This is a Lug-gable loo. It's clean. I've cleaned it out, put a fresh bag in there. But this is our Lug-gable loo. You can put it about anywhere. We take it with us on the road, because the older we get, it seems like the more we have to take and make pit stops. And some places out here, there's just no place to go besides behind a tree. So anyway, this is our bathroom. You just take and every time you go to the bathroom, put a little bit of kitty litter in there. We try to keep this down to number 2. You don't want a lot of urine in there, gets to smelling. But if you can keep it down to number 2, and then just go out into the country for number 1, there's plenty of trees around. Keep it down to a minimum. This right here is inexpensive. You can pick up the lids for about $14.95 on Amazon. You can pick up the buckets any hardware store for less than $5, and you put a trash bag in there. Once you're done, you just tie up the trash bag, double bag it. We usually double bag it, and it's legal to just dump in the landfill. It becomes solid waste with the kitty litter. So that's how we take and deal with that. Folks, I just want to show you one more trick or tip. We buy ice, and we haven't really got used to having drinks that are not cold. But we buy ice, and we don't want to waste any water out here. And we do have a dog. So one of the things we do is when the ice melts in our coolers, in our tray in the refrigerator, is put it in a bucket. So we have it in this bucket right here. You could bath with it. I mean, it does get sand in it. If you had to wash something, you could take and wash with it. The sand usually settles to the bottom. The mayfly in there right now. They get in there occasionally. But we save this water for our dog. We leave him a bucket right there, which has another mayfly in it. We leave that there available. When we're here, he's loose. He knows where his water's at. It stays fairly cool here in the shade. So, but instead of, just throwing that water away, just letting it drain out somewhere in a parking lot, We dump our coolers, or try to, before we leave to go to town, where we pick up more ice. But again, we save all that water, so it's a dual purpose. Not only do we have ice, buying ice, now we have water from that too. So just another little tip and trick there. If you're living off grid, make sure you save all the water you can. This is about as necessary out here as water is. Every time you go to town, you want to make sure that you bring back some fuel. Before I left, I filled up the generator. I filled up both generators, the little one and the big one, and it pretty much emptied this can. But when you go to town, if you got an empty gas can, you fill it up, because you never know what you're going to need. You never know when you're going to get back to town. I mean, there's a lot of things can happen. So just having fuel on hand is a really good deal. One of my plans later down the road is to actually get a fuel tank that goes in the back of a truck or on a trailer, and then if I go to town, I'll just bring back 5 gallons, dump it in there. May take it to town, fill it up, but every time you go to town, a little bit of time as you have money, fill it up. That way we have a tank of fuel here all the time if we need it. Being prepared. I'm going to buy gas anyway, might as well buy it. I'm going to buy water anyway, I might as well get water. So I hope I kind of give you a glimpse into how we live. It's a different type of lifestyle. You have to come up with effective ways to take, and have energy, keep food, a place to sleep. Most people don't know what it's like to live off grid. It's fairly simple. You have to cover the basics: food, water, shelter, and we've got all that. We've even got power. But you can pretty much take this setup anywhere you want to go. Whether you're going off grid, you're going camping, whatever, you can have this type of setup. And you can live very well off grid. So I just want to give you a peek into our lifestyle right now. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Check out our Etsy shop. If you're looking for that particular gift, for a person who might have everything or they're hard to shop for, check out our Etsy shop. We're adding more items all the time. If you need an electric fence charger, we have those on there. We have options from solar to 110 units. Check out our Amazon page. I have a poetry book in there. I call it Cowboy Poetry. It's a book I wrote several years ago in the words of a Tennessee cowboy. If you're needing a gift, that's a great gift. If you're just needing a coffee table book or something, to read, you can read it. It's fairly easy to read. You don't have to sit down and read the whole thing. You can just take one poem out there and read it. It's got a brief description. Take and check that out if you would. We thank you for stopping by. We'll see you down the road.